Hey guys, thanks for tuning in today. I hope that you're having a wonderful day. I'm going to go ahead and get into the quote of the day. The person who follows the crowd will usually go no further than the crowd. The person who walks alone is likely to find himself in places no one has ever seen before. By Albert Einstein. Today I would like to talk about being different. I know this is something that we've all had a struggle with, that we feel sometimes we don't fit in or we're out of our element, that we don't feel like we can relate to other people. It could be in school, it could be in work, it could be in college, it could be around your friends. When you get into a situation, sometimes you may think, I feel like I'm different, that I can't relate with these guys around me. But I think that's what makes us great as humans, is that we're all different. No one's the same. I always think about that when they say nobody has the same fingerprints. And I think that's just amazing, that we were all created to be different. And one of the things with everybody being different, I don't think there's no rules or set ways of who we should be. And I think sometimes we kind of tuck into our own shell and we try to be like everybody else. But I think that we're able to accomplish the greatest goals in life is when we think originally, when we think for ourselves, when we don't have anybody else or anything determining what our thoughts are. Our thoughts are good, our thoughts are great, and we are very fortunate to have thoughts compared to the rest of all the creatures in this world. We are blessed with that, and I think as you go along, it's something that we have to get used to, that we have to become comfortable in our own skin. Other people may tell you, or you may have heard, or somebody may have called you weird or an outcast. And I think that's a good thing. I think that's a positive thing. Instead of thinking of it negatively and dwelling on it and saying, man, I wish I could just be like everybody else. Why be like everybody else? You're you. And we all have special gifts that we have. And once we find those gifts, they're not going to be the same as anybody else. So how can we go into the world and be different and feel like it's a good thing? It's a good thing to be different. For me, being different, I've been called different in my life. I really have. Not lately, but there was years in my life where I felt like an outcast. I felt like I was a lone wolf, that I didn't fit in. What I was talking about or my thoughts weren't what everybody else was thinking. And you know what it's like when somebody looks at you with that dumbfound look and you know they're thinking, I don't know about this person. But I've come to realize that when people do that, great, I'm making an impression on them. I'm being original. And that's what I want to continue to do, is not be always influenced by everybody else around me, but being who I am, saying what I think, thinking what I want to think, being who I want to be, not what anybody else wants me to be, because I think that you accomplish your greatest goals in life when you find out who you truly are. Once you find that out and you don't worry about all the noise around you, and you find that inner peace. I think when you come to realization that I'm different and it's a good thing, that you will truly find peace in your life. And I know that's everybody's looking for peace, for that inner peace, to not worry and have anxiety and stress over the small things, or even taking time out of your life. We have a very short life, a very short time on this earth. And what's the point of wasting that? Even if you wasted a couple minutes a day and you add that up over your lifetime, it could be days that you're sitting there worrying about what other people think of you, instead of taking that time and motivating yourself and doing something good. Majority of the people that I've watched, and I love watching successful people. And one thing that the outcome that I've come across after watching all these successful people is they're not like anybody else. They are on a whole different frequency, a whole different level, and and you can just see it when they talk that they're comfortable in their own skin, that they're not worrying or looking around or having those thoughts, I wonder what everybody's thinking of me. I think they're taking that time and thinking something positive. In my last vlog, I was talking about you can only have one thought at a time. It can either be a negative thought or a positive thought. And you're the one that has to make that decision. So instead of having a negative thought and worrying about what everybody else is thinking of you, be yourself. I just want to push this through this camera that be yourself, be your creative self. I believe that everybody's beautiful on the inside and the outside, that we're all different, but we're all created the same. So with that, knowing that to a certain point we're all the same, but we have different things or different outlets that we're able to talk about and can be. One of the other things is also, I don't believe you can truly fulfill your goals in life until you realize that it's okay to be different. Some people think about things in two different ways. Another example is, if you can read a book, if two people read a book, at the end of that book, there's going to be two different outcomes. Both people are going to have a different way of looking at that book. That book's going to talk to them differently. And I think that's so great that everybody can take something else out of a book. With meeting somebody else, you take something out of that meeting, out of that conversation that will benefit you. Once again, I don't know why this is so heavy on my heart today about being different. And I just want to go back once again about, I struggled with that a couple years of my life, about really feeling like being an outcast, that I really love technology and I love algorithms and I love frequencies and computer science. And once I started talking about that with people, when you get down to the very root of some of that stuff, it does sound kind of crazy. It sounds like mumbo jumbo, and a lot of people, they can't relate to it because they've never studied it. I believe it's the same way if you talk to a physicist. If you talk to them for half an hour, you're probably going to be like, I don't know what the heck this guy's talking about. He's off his rocker. But actually, they know quite a bit of stuff. And with that, when I started talking about technology with other people, they would give me that look like, what is this guy talking about? Even though inside I knew I was correct, that I know my information, that I've gained a lot of knowledge and intelligence over the years by spending hundreds of hours reading and researching and studying. And the thing is because I don't have a network of people around me right now in the technology field. So it's kind of hard to relate to when somebody comes up to me and talks with me and I start shooting out all this information to them and they're like, I don't know. But that's also taught me a lesson when I went through all that, is how to read people. Some people you can open up with, some people you have to back down. There's certain tones that you have to talk with some people, and everybody has a different way of experiencing life. And with that one, I've learned to become comfortable talking about technology when it comes to the right people, because then I feel comfortable and I can feel like I relate. But when I start talking, I've learned to not put myself in situations or talking about certain things with somebody that cannot relate. So what's the point of continue to talk about a certain subject if you can tell that person's not interested or they don't understand? So a lot of times when people don't understand, that is when they make you feel like you're different. is because they don't understand, and they need to have an outlet to show that, hey, I don't know, because they have not gained that knowledge or that information, and they don't have the intelligence when it comes to certain subjects or categories out there. And that's okay too. So one of the good things about being different that I'm pushing myself to do is find other people that have similar interests with me and start a network. So I have an outlet or somebody to talk with, somebody to open up about certain subjects where somebody else doesn't understand. So with that one, if you have certain subjects in your life that you talk with other people about and they really don't understand it, I push you, and that's okay. Keep those same friends and you can talk about certain subjects with them, but the subjects that you need somebody to have an outlet or somebody to talk with, I urge you to find somebody. And that's part of my journey right now through this blog, is finding other people that have similar hobbies and similar things that they like to study and research. And this is also an encouraging channel, but hopefully I can start networking with people and also expand my network as far as business or research goes. So with that one, guys, I hope that you have a wonderful day and a beautiful evening, and I will talk with you tomorrow.